So I would have had this video up last week, but I was in Colorado last week. I left immediately after I uploaded my discussion on Fahrenheit 451. So I was in Colorado, and then I got back late Saturday night, unpacking, all that stuff. Then Sunday I had a performance early in the morning, had to be there at 9:15. And then I pretty much spent the day with my cousin. We went to Steak and Shake and we saw the Katy Perry movie. And what else did we do? We went to Barnes & Noble. We pretty much just drove around. Lots of driving that day. Then Monday I had an oral surgery and I wasn't supposed to talk. I'd have a muscle removed or replaced in my mouth because it was making my gum line recede, and now I have to go in for a graft and they have to take tissue from the roof of my mouth and put it down there. It's just really fun stuff. So this is my Q&A video for 1,000 subscribers. And now it's like 1350 something. Maybe it's 1400. I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten so many comments on a video, like, ever. This is 1, 2, 3, 4.5 full pages. I guess we should get started. Let me just say also that these questions are embarrassingly out of order, so don't expect them to be like organized, because they're not at all. It just happened to my voice. The first question is, what is your favorite and least favorite book of 2012 so far that I've read? I've read a lot of good books this year. I have to say my favorite so far, can I pick 3? I'm gonna pick 3. I'm gonna say Looking for Alaska by John Green, Insurgent by Veronica Roth, and Fear by Michael Grant. Those 3, I don't know why. And my least favorite, well, the only book that I've given 3 stars so far, all the other ones have been 4 or 5. It would probably be Delirium by Lauren Oliver, but it was still good. You know, it was still good. The next question is, what are some of your favorite book covers? Well, I really like the covers of the Maze Runner trilogy. I really like the cover of Insurgent, the cover that I have of Fahrenheit 451, and Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Those are just some that come to mind. As for least favorite, pretty much anything with a teenage girl in a ball gown going like this. So take your pick. What is your most anticipated book for the rest of 2012? I think I have to say Nevermore by James Patterson. I really don't know what to expect for the last Maximum Ride book. It's either going to be freaking awesome or it's going to suck. Something tells me that James Patterson is going to pull through and everything's going to make sense in the end. Something also tells me that it's going to suck. Anticipation. Also, you know, The Rise of Nine, The Kill Order, The Mark of Athena. What else? The next question is, what kind of music do you listen to? What's your favorite genre and band? My music taste pretty much stays along the same line, but I change bands and albums and songs that I listen to, you know, like every few weeks, just like everyone else. Right now, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm really into this band called Pierce the Veil. I really like, Stay Away From My Friends and Paraphernalia and Bulletproof Love, and also A Day to Remember. I promise this whole phase will pass over, but I don't know why. I like this music now. I'm also a huge Go Radio fan, which most of you probably don't know that band. If you've listened to the older Mayday Parade album, A Lesson in Romantics, and then the newer ones, how that awesome voice kind of left, his name is Jason Lancaster, and he has a new band called Go Radio. This is old news for a lot of people, but I love Go Radio and their albums and EPs. What TV shows do you watch, and what are your favorite movies? Let's see, TV shows. I have a lot. Two Broke Girls, 2.5 Men, Harry's Law, Glee, New Girl, The Office, 30 Rock, Modern Family, The Middle, Suburgatory, Criminal Minds, Love, Criminal Minds. As for movies, one of my all-time favorite movies is Mean Girls. I've watched that movie countless numbers of times. I practically have it memorized. I also like Easy A, She's the Man, Date Night, all those awesome movies. The next question is, what is your favorite book series? And this is another thing that changes all the time. Right now, I'm really into Gone by Michael Grant, and I cannot wait for Light, the last book. Also the Divergent trilogy. I have way too many. The Maze Runner. Gosh, I don't even know. Who's your favorite author? Probably J.K. Rowling, Rick Riordan, Jodi Pico. The next question is, when are you going to read TMI? or The Mortal Instruments. I will read City of Bones before the movie comes out. That's the only thing I'm promising. It would be nice if I could be caught up on the whole thing before Clockwork Princess, but I don't see that happening, to be quite honest, because I'm going to read them in order of publication. And I'm not sure if I'll be caught up by the time City of Heavenly Fire comes out, but that would be nice, because I don't want to be the guy that reads them when no one cares about them anymore. Not that I only read popular stuff, it would just be nice to, like, be into it with everyone else. When are you going to read Chaos Walking? I don't even know, okay? When are you going to read Beautiful Creatures? I'd like to catch up on the series before Beautiful Redemption, but I also don't see that happening, and the only thing I'm promising is that I will have Beautiful Creatures done before the movie. What is the book you most recommend? And that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green and Legend by Marie Lu. What do you think is the most underrated book series? I think for the most part books get the publicity that they deserve, but I think the Gone series is pretty underrated because it's pretty awesome. As for the most overrated, these vampire books. Who/what inspired this channel? The Readables and Cast J Talk inspired this channel. Pretty much, in the summer of last year, I was really into the Maximum Ride series, so I was looking stuff up on YouTube about it obsessively, and I came across Cassidy's review of Angel, and I was like, who is this chick? So I pretty much watched all of her videos just right then, and I was like, do people do book reviews for everything? Is this a thing? YouTube? Book reviews? So I started looking up book reviews for some of my favorite books like Gone and The Maze Runner, all that stuff, and I came across Priscilla's reviews, started watching her videos, and I was like, hey, I really want to do this. You know, I don't talk to any of my friends about books, so I figured I would just babble to a camera and edit it down to something interesting. See where it goes. I guess it went somewhere. Do I ever expect to become popular, more popular on YouTube? I think my goals for life are a lot more than YouTube, kind of. This is kind of just starting off my career, I guess. I don't know, I have way too many things that I want to do. I really want to become a writer, you know, one that publishes 1 or 2 books a year. I also really want to go into acting, directing, and I want to do something with music, but I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I don't plan on stopping YouTube anytime soon though. So I guess we'll just see how this whole thing goes. What do you want to do post high school? Just told you, what book disappointed you the most? You know, I don't get disappointed by books that often. I'm generally generous when it comes to reviews. I don't usually do negative reviews. I don't think I've ever given a book less than 3 stars. I don't know why, I just don't have a good eye for bad books. I tend to like them. If you could only read one genre forever, what would it be? Can we go with fiction? Does that count? No? Okay. Probably contemporary fiction, but at the last minute I might go with fantasy. Even though I'm not a huge fan of fantasy, if I'm gonna be stuck in the real world with one genre, I might choose fantasy. Gosh. Do you ever read multiple books at once, and if so, how many? Actually, I usually don't do this, but lately I have been. I was reading Fahrenheit 451 as well as Bossy Pants by Tina Fey and The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. I was reading all those at once, and it actually went pretty good because I felt like I was reading faster. So that might be something that I start doing now. Probably not. What was your favorite childhood book? And that is any of the Shel Silverstein, Where the Sidewalk Ends, those poems. Magic Treehouse. I loved Magic Treehouse. Jack and Annie and I were like this. Pretty much read whatever came my way. It's the longest book you've ever read, and that is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. So no, I have not read Les Mis or A Game of Thrones. Do you like blueberry cheesecake? And I don't know. Have I ever had blueberry cheesecake? What do you think your last words will be? I'm not going to say them in fear of them actually being my last words. Do you like Pokemon? No. What keeps you interested in a book? Fast-paced, lots of dialogue. What are your top 5 favorite books? And they're constantly changing. Right now, no particular order. Looking for Alaska, Insurgent, Fear, The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, and Bossy Pants. because those are pretty much the most recent 5-star books that I've read. How many pages do you usually read in a day, and what is your reading routine? In a day, I probably read between 5 and 200 pages. It really just depends. My reading routine, usually it involves 2 in the morning in my bed with no one bothering me. What are your opinions on e-readers? I have a Kindle, I love it, but I prefer to have the actual book because I like having it on my shelf, but I do use my Kindle sometimes. I'm actually using it now. Well, I will be after I finish my current book, but you guys will see. What are your hobbies slash other interests besides this whole thing? I'm a guitar player. I like to edit and make videos, which I've incorporated into this. I'm really into technology, computers, and mostly Apple products. No, I'm not talking about like the caramel dippers. I'm talking about like iPads and MacBook Pros, which I just got because I'm broke now. You know, just the normal stuff, being with friends and all that. I almost said that I had friends with a straight face. What is your favorite Maze Runner book? I know at the time I said it was not The Death Cure, but now it might be The Death Cure. I love them all. They're all 5 stars. I don't know. They're pretty much equal. Is Wicked good? Well, I do have an opinion on this, but I'm not going to say it for fear of spoilers. Do you watch slash play sports? No. What do you watch on TV? I already told you. Gosh, these questions are so unorganized. Are you a fan of manga? No. Do you read comics? No. What faction would you be in? I would be Divergent because I'm a normal human being. Well, I'm a human being. What is the most played song on your iPhone? This should be good. Helena, So Long and Good Night by My Chemical Romance. I don't even know the last time I listened to that song, but it must have been frequent. When do you plan on reading more of John Green's books? Throughout this coming school year, I will have them all done. What's your favorite Harry Potter character? The first one that comes to mind is Snape, for various reasons that you will understand if you've read them. What are your opinions on the Percy Jackson and the Olympians movie? I have given my opinions for that in my series discussion. I will leave the link to my opinions on that right here. So click. What are your theories for Nevermore, the last Maximum Ride book? I'm answering these questions way before they even get asked. What's your favorite Hunger Games character? Katniss. What is the best book-to-movie adaptation in your opinion? I would have to say I'm number 4 or The Hunger Games. Who's your favorite dead author? Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl. What's your favorite standalone book? Looking for Alaska by John Green. What's the best book in the Witch and Wizard series? That is definitely the third and final, possibly the final one, The Fire. Is Plague still your favorite Gone book? And no, it's Fear now. If you could be any character for a week, what character would you be? I don't even know. Probably be a Ravenclaw at Hogwarts. Any Ravenclaw. If you were stuck on an island with 3 books, what would you choose? Well, I would choose the last Harry Potter book, The Game of Thrones to keep me busy, and The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, because one can never reread that book too many times. The next question is, what is your relationship deal status? I actually was in a relationship for a while I was trying to juggle YouTube, and I'm definitely not talking about this with you. And by you, I mean my camera. But as for right now, I'm not really dating anyone, so, you know, whatever. The next question is, what are you currently reading? I'm working on reading Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. As you guys should know, I'm doing a discussion on parts 1, 2, and 3, and then I want to do a book and movie review. I'm also reading Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I plan on doing a review of this and the statistical probability in one video, because I'm doing that now. Who are your 3 favorite non-booktube YouTubers? Shane Dawson, Brittany Taylor, and Shaytards. Wait, no. Can I add Jenna Marbles somewhere in there? The next question is, what's the story behind your username? Well, I know it's pretty unoriginal and makes me sound like a big douchebag. I didn't know that the community was called the BookTuber community. I had just heard the term in some videos and I was like, hey, that'd be a cool username. So I made the BookTuber, and then I was like, oh crap. So I really don't like my username, and if I could I would change it to something more creative. But it is what it is, and no one really gives me bad times about it. When is the fireplace gonna be back? Fireplace should be back around September or October or November or never. What editing software do you use? How long does it take? What editing software do you use? How long does it take? How do you edit? I used Final Cut Pro on my iMac. I had a video making mentor who lent me his equipment for a while and gave me Final Cut Pro when we invested in our iMac. So now I have Final Cut Pro for, you know, all that stuff, and it works out really well. And it takes me between an hour and 2 hours to edit a video. Like if it's a book review, probably less time than a book haul, because I always add in these sound effects and pictures. This is going to take me at least 2 hours. Would you ever name your child after a fictional character? And yes, I totally would, and yes, I probably totally will. Probably a Harry Potter character, because Harry Potter had the biggest effect on my life. I don't know what other names I would use, but I'm sure I'd come up with something. Are you a Doctor Who fan? I guess you could call me a Doctor Who fan, but I've only watched one episode. The first episode of the first season, called Rose, and it was good, but it was pretty weird. So I'll get into it eventually. I just had to watch it. I watched it on the plane. Are you a Sherlock fan? I wish I was a Sherlock fan, but I have not taken the time to get started on that, so I'll get on that. What do you plan on reading this summer? Whatever I want to, whenever I want to. Do you play video games? Aside from, you know, the apps on my iPad, no. Do you keep your books in good condition? And yes, I do not bend the pages or write in them or anything like that. I keep them in pretty good condition. How do you afford all of your books? Actually, it's kind of hard lately. I have birthday money and mowing lawn money, and sometimes people give me gift cards if I do odd jobs for them, like yard work or whatever. It's a pretty inconsistent thing. Have you read Twilight? What are your opinions on Twilight? I think thus far I've avoided the topic of Twilight because I don't want to get in this big argument. I have read Twilight. You know, it's fine. It's good. I think I read the whole series after Breaking Dawn came out. That was a few years ago. I was... I don't even remember what grade I was in. But, you know, I was really into them at the time. I still go see the movies. I mean, I'm over it. I'm not, like, a huge fan, but I liked them. Do you buy books used or new? I don't have a half-price books around me, but if I did, I might go there, but I don't know. I like to have new stuff. What do you think of the Mark of Athena cover? It's very cool. Who are your favorite booktubers? Gosh, long list. The Readables, Cass J Talk, Elizzy Books, Jessie the Reader, Melissa Books, Books with Court, Who Am I Missing? Those are the immediate ones that come to mind. Who is your favorite fictional character? The first person that comes into my head is Luna Lovegood, but I don't know, that would take some thought. Who's your favorite debut author of 2012 so far? I'm not quite sure if I've read any debut authors of 2012. Have I? No, I don't think so. Maybe Samantha Van Leer? Does she count? Do you follow authors' blogs? I have read some of Veronica Roth's and Beth Revis's. They're good, but I don't follow any blogs or have a blog of my own. What are your opinions on the new Across the Universe covers? I don't like them. They just kind of look like the old Artemis Fowl covers. No. They've already changed the Across the Universe cover 3 times now. No, 2 times. But there's 3 different covers now. Why? Shades of Earth is not going to match Across the Universe or A Million Suns on my bookshelf. It's gonna be like, cool cover and then green. What are your thoughts on fandoms? I tend to stay out of them, but you know, like, do whatever you want. I don't care. What's your favorite Jodi Pico book? And I really like Sing You Home. What dystopian world would you most like to live in? No thank you. Would you rather be at Hogwarts or Camp Half-Blood? Hogwarts, definitely. I mean, magic. I want to be able to wave a wand and freaking Accio. I'd be lazy. How do you feel about happy endings? Happy endings are all good as long as they're realistic. We all know for a book to be good, something bad has to happen, but it's nice if it's all resolved at the end. I just don't like when they're predictable happy endings and they all lived happily ever after. Blah. Has a book ever changed your life? I don't think so, not yet. What's your opinions on the ending of the Hunger Games trilogy? And I'm not going to say because of spoilers, but you can click here to find it. Do you wish there was another Hunger Games book? No. No, please no. Do you ever regret starting this channel? / does this channel make reading more of a chore? Yes, it does make reading a lot more of a chore, but it also helps me stay on track and to read more because I think about like how I should be finishing this because I have people depending on me, which I guess is a good thing, but then again, it's supposed to be fun. But I like reading, so I don't regret this unless my friends find this channel, in which case it's ending. Percy or Jason? Percy. I think it'd be cool if there was a booktube panel at VidCon, because I think I'm going next year. Will you be reading Rick Riordan's Norse mythology books? If it's written by Rick Riordan, yes. Even though I haven't read the Kane Chronicles yet, I started reading the Red Pyramid, and I just wasn't into it, so I will be reading those this school year. Are you dating Cass J. Tuck? Well, we weren't gonna tell people, and I don't know how you found out, but we're married. Just don't tell anyone, okay? Have you ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? I have, but I'm not a mega fan or anything. I think I've watched 1 or 2 episodes with my brother. So the last section is a bunch of have you read questions. Have you read Vladimir Todd? No. Have you read The Magic Thief? No. Have you read The Night Circus? No. Have you read anything by Neil Shusterman? No. But I really want to read Unwind. So those are all the questions. Thank you for watching this whole video. If you did, I hope you've enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. And thank you for 1,000+ subscribers. Bye.